They say love is everything a man wants. But what if I told you that's not true? There are things men secretly value even more than love. Needs that go deeper than affection, deeper than romance, deeper than the I love yous he rarely says back. And when these emotional needs aren't met, love alone can't hold him. It fades, slowly, quietly, until one day, you realize he's still there, but no longer with you. Most women believe that love is the ultimate thing men want from them. And it makes sense. Love feels powerful. It feels meaningful. It's what relationships are built on. But here's the harsh truth that few understand. Men don't experience love the same way women do. For a man, love isn't enough if his deeper emotional needs are being ignored. When those needs go unmet, no matter how much love you give, he begins to withdraw. He becomes distant, cold, hard to reach. And the worst part? Most women never even realize why. You give him your heart, your time, your affection. You try to make him feel wanted, yet somehow it's not enough. You start to wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why doesn't he respond the same way? The truth is, it's not about how much love you're giving. It's about the emotional connection he's craving, but never asks for. Psychologists have found that men are far more emotionally driven than most people think. They want validation, respect, and inner peace, but they don't express it in words. So when these needs go unnoticed, frustration builds, communication breaks down, and eventually both sides feel unfulfilled. But the good news? You can change this, not by loving harder, but by understanding deeper. Because once you recognize the 6 emotional needs men truly value above love, everything in your relationship starts to shift. Let's break them down, one by one. Number 1, respect. Respect. It's not just something men want. It's something they need. Most people think men crave love above all else. But for many men, respect is love. It's how they measure their worth, their place in your life, and even their purpose. When a man feels respected by the woman he loves, something powerful happens inside him. He stands taller. He feels valued, trusted, and capable. But when that respect fades, no amount of affection can fill the void. You see, men don't just want respect in their careers or friendships. They crave it most in their relationships, the one place where they hope to feel safe being vulnerable. And yet, this is also where they often feel the most judged, criticized, or dismissed. When you respect a man, you're not blindly agreeing with him or feeding his ego. You're acknowledging his effort, his quiet battles, his unseen sacrifices, his drive to protect and provide. You're telling him, without words, I see you. And that simple recognition can light a fire in him that love alone never could. But the opposite is equally true. When a man feels disrespected, when his opinions are ignored, his efforts go unnoticed, or he's constantly compared. Something inside him shuts down. He might not yell or argue, but he'll pull away, slowly, emotionally, until you're left wondering where his warmth went. Respect doesn't always come from grand gestures. It lives in the small things. Listening when he speaks, valuing his perspective, showing appreciation when he tries, even if he fails. Because when a man feels respected, he gives back tenfold. Love deepens, connection strengthens, and suddenly you're no longer fighting to keep his heart because respect already made it yours. Number 2, admiration. Let's be honest, every man wants to feel like a hero in his own story. Not a superhero with a cape, but your hero, the one who makes you smile, who protects you, who feels like he matters. For men, admiration isn't just flattery, it's fuel. It tells him that what he does has meaning, that his efforts, even the quiet, unnoticed ones, are seen. And when a man feels admired by the woman he loves, he doesn't just feel proud, he feels alive. See, men are often driven by their need to achieve, to contribute, to win in some way. But what most people don't realize is that the real prize isn't the success itself, it's the feeling of being recognized for it. When you say things like, I'm proud of you, or you always find a way to make things work, you're not just complimenting him, you're affirming his identity. You're reminding him that who he is, not just what he does, has value. It doesn't take grand gestures or constant praise. It's in the small, sincere moments. Admiring the way he thinks, the way he handles stress, the way he keeps going, even when life gets hard. When you show that you notice those things, you awaken something deep inside him, his drive to protect, to provide, and to love you even harder. But when admiration fades, when he starts feeling like nothing he does is enough, that fire begins to die out. He might still be there physically, but emotionally he starts retreating. He feels invisible, unseen, and over time that quiet distance becomes a wall. Here's the truth. Men don't need you to worship them. They just need to know you see them, not as perfect, but as someone who's trying. Because when a man feels admired, he doesn't just stay, he thrives. And he'll do everything he can to make sure you do too. Number 3, peace. You might think men crave excitement, passion, or even constant attention. But deep down, what most men truly want, often more than love itself, is peace. Not silence, not avoidance, but the kind of emotional calm that feels like home. To a man, peace is everything. It's the quiet assurance that when he walks through the door, he's not stepping into another battlefield. He already fights the world outside. Pressure, competition, expectations. And what he needs most when he comes home is safety. A place where he can exhale, where he's not being criticized, compared, or judged. Psychologists call this emotional stability, a state where a man feels emotionally grounded and understood. When a woman brings peace, she becomes irreplaceable. Because peace allows him to drop the armor he wears all day. He can finally just be himself. That's when connection deepens, not in chaos, but in calm. But when a relationship becomes filled with drama, arguments, or emotional tension, even love begins to feel like exhaustion. It's not that he doesn't care anymore. It's that he's tired. Tired of feeling like he has to defend himself in the one place meant to heal him. Here's the truth. Men don't always remember every word you say, but they'll never forget how peaceful or how draining it feels to be around you. Peace isn't about never disagreeing. It's about how you handle disagreement. A calm tone instead of sharp words. A pause instead of a fight. If you give him peace, he'll give you loyalty, softness, and love that doesn't fade. Because while passion draws a man in, peace makes him stay. Number 4, emotional support. This one runs deeper than most people realize. Because while men might look strong on the outside, composed, logical, in control, deep down they carry weights they rarely show anyone. The world tells them to man up, to solve problems alone, to never crack under pressure. But beneath that armor, every man longs for one thing, a safe place to rest his heart. Here's the truth. Emotional support is not about fixing his problems. It's about standing beside him when he faces them. It's about being the calm in his chaos. The one person he can be real with, without fear of being judged or misunderstood. When a man feels he can drop the act with you, that's when he truly connects. That's when love moves from the surface to the soul. Sometimes all he needs isn't advice or solutions. It's quiet understanding. A simple, "I know you're doing your best," can mean more than 1,000 words. It tells him he's not alone in the fight, that no matter how heavy life gets, someone sees his struggle and still believes in him. But here's the dangerous part. When a man feels emotionally unsupported, he doesn't explode. He shuts down. He'll start bottling things up, telling you less, sharing less. Until one day there's just silence. Not because he stopped caring, but because he no longer feels safe to open up. If you want to touch a man's heart on a level most never reach, don't just love his confidence. Love his quiet battles too. Remind him that being strong doesn't mean being alone. Because the truth is, men don't need someone perfect. They need someone present. That's how emotional support turns from a gesture into the glue that holds love together. Number 5, freedom. It might sound strange, freedom in love, but here's the truth most people miss. Real love doesn't trap, it trusts. And for men, that trust, the space to breathe, to be, to grow, is not optional. It's essential. Every man needs to feel that he can still be himself inside a relationship, that he can chase his passions, nurture his goals, and maintain his individuality without feeling guilty for it. When that freedom disappears, something inside him begins to fade. He starts feeling like a prisoner in the very place that's supposed to bring him peace. And the irony is, he doesn't stop loving. He just starts resenting. Freedom to a man means the ability to return to himself, so he can return to you fully. It's not about pulling away, it's about recharging. Think of it like oxygen. When you give him the space to go out with his friends, to work on his craft, or to simply spend time alone, you're showing that you trust him, that your love doesn't need constant control to feel secure. Men fall deeply for the woman who lets them be free, because freedom says, I trust you enough to let you go, and I know you'll come back. That kind of trust doesn't weaken connection, it strengthens it. It creates a bond built not on possession, but on choice. But take that freedom away, and even the strongest man starts to wither. He feels suffocated, misunderstood, and distant. And that distance? It's rarely about falling out of love. It's about losing the air to breathe. So if you truly want a man to stay, don't chain him with your love. Give him room to be himself. Because the paradox of freedom in love is simple. The more space you give, the closer he'll feel to you. Number 6, purpose. More than love, admiration, or even peace. What truly drives a man at his core is purpose. It's the invisible force that shapes his confidence, his ambition, and his emotional state. When a man feels like he has no purpose, even love can start to lose its meaning. But when he's aligned with it, everything, including love, begins to thrive. For men, purpose isn't just about career or success. It's about feeling useful, feeling capable, and feeling like what he does matters. Psychologists call this the drive for significance. The deep need to know his existence makes a difference. And here's the thing most people overlook. When a woman supports that purpose, not by controlling it, but by believing in it, she connects with the deepest part of his identity. Men fall in love with women who make them feel inspired, not pressured. If he's building something, chasing a dream, or fighting his way back from failure, your encouragement is fuel. A simple, I believe in you, can light a fire stronger than any declaration of love. Because in that moment, he doesn't just feel loved, he feels understood. On the other hand, when his purpose is dismissed, mocked, or ignored, it creates quiet resentment. He may still care, but something inside him starts to retreat. He begins to associate the relationship with limitation instead of freedom. So here's the truth. You don't have to fix his path. Just walk beside him. Listen when he talks about his dreams. Remind him who he is when doubt creeps in, and celebrate the small wins he barely notices. Because when a man feels that his purpose is respected, he'll move mountains for the woman who made him feel that way. Love gives him comfort, but purpose gives him life.